So I was working on something, and I turn around wondering why Shane's been acting so good. That would be why. Okay, what's in your mouth? Give it to me. Get out. And give it to me. I don't want you to choke on it. Good afternoon, everyone. So I think it's actually like past 2 o'clock and I look like a hot mess. I laid down. I was so tired. Before midnight last night, Shane was up either like 4 or 5 times. Like it was a ridiculous number. No, don't. So I was exhausted, and so I just laid down with Shane in my bed and I let the boys play games today. Which I think is like the 2nd time this week I've let them do that.
Nice.
And I was like, because you were really, really nice.
Let me tell you. Yesterday, tomorrow night, I was not really nice. But, and Cole told me on tomorrow night to pee on a rocking chair. And Dad said, Cole, you don't have things today. And he whined. Can I hear it? Why you pee on a rocking chair?
It's just been the gentleman driving really slowly down the street looking at all the house numbers, so I thought he was gonna stop and ask for directions. Which I am absolutely horrible at. Anyway, so it's just been a pretty slow day. I don't want to do dishes. I did, however, finish editing like 4 vlogs, and 3 of them weren't too bad. But the last one, a few years ago, I sang a song and recorded it for Chris. It's not the best recording in the world, but I recorded it, and it's called Someone Like You. It's from Jekyll and Hyde. And so he found that song that I recorded for me, so that's like the backdrop music for the video. So it's like almost 4 minutes long, and I put a bunch of photos of Chris and I in it, and a couple video clips of like our family and stuff, just kind of recapping some of the last 7 years. And the videos are more recent because we didn't start vlogging until, you know, almost 150 days ago. But it's really a nice video, and I'm hoping it's up by the time you guys are all watching this. And so if you watch any video from yesterday, watch Love Story Part 3, because I think that's the best one out of the 3. I mean, the first 2 we talk about how we met and all that, but the 3rd one's the best. Trust me on that one. So Shane knocked over the bicycle. So we're gonna fix that up. He's gonna go play. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, I thought I had like a flyaway. It's probably around 5 o'clock-ish. So we were at the park because I was like, the kids need to get out. They need to run around. Yes. And Cole comes up to me and goes, Mommy, my tummy really hurts. And I'm like, he suffers from like digestive problems. And so like every once in a while when like his eating habits or sleep habits or anything like that gets a little out of whack, he has issues. And so I was like, well, maybe you need to go to the bathroom. And so I brought him home and he was sitting on the toilet, and then he came out and he's like, Mommy, I threw up. And he didn't really throw up. I think he ended up coughing and threw up phlegm. But he's not feeling well. I told him to go lay down in bed, and we put a little bowl in bed with him, and he fell asleep. So I don't think he's feeling too well at all, which is really sad. There are certain kids, I think I've said this before, there are certain kids out there that's just really sad. Well, it's always sad when kids get sick. But there are certain kids when they're sick, you're like, oh, maybe I'll get a little bit of break, because them being sick makes them a little bit more lethargic and they lay down more, aka Ira. But then there's other kids who are pretty mellow to begin with, and so when they get sick, it totally wipes them out, and it's just pathetic and sad. And Cole is one of those kids, so it's really sad. So yeah, I don't know what he has. I don't even know really if he is sick, but he's definitely not feeling well. So that's kind of what's going on. Poor Shane. He's been cranky.
Are you teasing me? Hi. I don't want you playing with these. Nope. But if it's going to keep you happy, I might make the sacrifice.
I also talked to one of my course mentors about the science experiment that I need to do, and I feel a lot better about it. Like, she was worried that I already turned it in and got sent back, and like she didn't review it, so she had no idea what to talk to me about. I was like, no, I haven't even started this thing. I'm like, I want to make sure I'm on the right track before I even start, so that I know when I do turn it in that everything's going to be good. Because I'm kind of sort of on a roll with this class that nothing has been sent back to me to redo. It's all been good. So let's hope we can keep that roll going for this class. I'm planning on doing homework tonight, which means Chris might have to clean the kitchen. Shh. Don't tell.
Don't tell me what?
Our secret.
Because I'm not going to be watching that.
He usually actually doesn't watch the vlogs. So, we'll get back to you guys later. Bye. Good night, everyone. I just ended just like that, saying good night. Now we're going to bed. I don't know if Chris gave you an update while I was doing homework on Cole. Did you? No? Okay. So I was doing homework and Cole actually fell asleep. We got home from in the park. I can't remember all that I told you guys. He was complaining that his stomach hurt at the park. So he came home. I told him, you know, go sit on the toilet. You might have some issues going on there. Because he has some digestive issues sometimes. And he said that he threw up. And really it was like more mucusy on the floor and not throw up. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Well, he went and I told him to lay down in bed because he said his stomach still hurt. And I put a bowl in bed with him and he woke up and there was some stuff in the bowl, not a lot. It looked again like he spit stuff up and it just had little, I don't even want to call it chunks. It wasn't even chunks. But then he ate like a bite of dinner and ran to the toilet and threw up like I think everything's eaten today. And he said he feels a lot better now. But he still has a bowl in bed with him. Oh yeah, he threw up a second time in the bowl after that. So he's thrown up a few times today. So we will officially not be going on the walk with anybody tomorrow because I think it was something he ate. He had a Lunchable today. It was one of those hamburger Lunchables, and I'm always a little on Lunchables because you never really know when you're gonna get a good batch or not. But just in case it is a sickness thing. Yeah, Chris has said that he was acting more like himself right before bed. But in case it is a sickness thing, there's a lot of little kids that live on the street, and I really don't want to get anyone else sick, so we're just gonna stay home tomorrow. Yep. You said we have a 24-hour rule. Yeah, Chris goes, we have a 24-hour rule. I wish every parent had a 24-hour rule. But not a lot of parents these days do. Our rule in the house is that, you know, you can't do anything, you can't go outside, you can't do anything until 24 hours has passed since either one, you've had a fever and it had to have been broken, or the last time you threw up. And so we're not doing anything until tomorrow night because he threw up. So that's pretty much what's going on. I did homework tonight. I watched 3 webinars on cells and mitosis, meiosis. Meiosis is the splitting of cells into 4 daughter cells that are not identical, and it's for the sexual cells. And mitosis is splitting into 2 daughter cells that are identical, and that's for like just cell reproduction for like the body and stuff like that. Now you're all a little bit smarter. And on that note, it's time for bed. Good night.